This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 655, Fostering an Active Lifestyle by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final show of the week. I am Greg Audino, and here is where I narrate from relationship blogs and authors. What's the goal of these episodes? Well, the goal is to optimize the many relationships in your life. And if you have questions beyond relationships, questions that you are struggling with, please email them to us at advice@oldpodcast.com. Advice@oldpodcast.com. Nothing is off limits. We'll take your questions, and I personally will answer them on our other show, Optimal Living Advice. We have helped you guys with a myriad of topics and are loving every minute of it. Just this week, we discussed the many upsides of having depression, for one, really interesting, the proper use of meditation for problem solving, and how to find hope in the midst of a major transition in life. So, really important topics, so please submit a question to us or just give us a listen to learn a few things and become familiar with real issues that people struggle with. That is Optimal Living Advice, and we're just having a ball over there. Now, for the Optimal Relationships Daily segment, today's post is about maintaining an active lifestyle as a parent. If you think it's impossible, well, Ross is all ready to show you otherwise. With that, we are going to get into Ross's post and start optimizing your life. Fostering an Active Lifestyle by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. As a father of two, I am amazed at how physically active children are by nature. My 3-year-old son would play outside all day if we let him. He loves to run, jump, climb, wrestle, ride his bike, hit the bag, and throw the ball. He often tags along at the gym and keeps himself busy by making up his own games and moves, as he calls them. When it's time to pack up and leave, he does his best to delay the exit. He always looks to extend the gym stay by a few more minutes. My 15-month-old daughter is following closely in his footsteps. One of the first things she wanted to do after learning to walk was put on her brother's boxing gloves and hit the punching bag. She was obsessed with her big brother's gloves. My wife and I finally broke down and bought her a pair to help keep the peace. She now brings the gloves and mitts to me. She smiles and laughs as she plays with them. And just like her big brother, she too is sad when it's time to put them away. I've learned to distract her when it's time to clean up, otherwise she would keep the gloves on all day. Lead by example. I'm not writing this entry to suggest that we push our kids to become champion athletes. If my kids want to play sports when they're older, I will support them, just as I'll support them if they want to play the piano instead. I will never push them towards something they don't enjoy. Yet, based on my own observations, it's clear that children imitate their parents. Their view of normalcy is based on what they encounter each day at home. I happen to be in the business of training fighters. My kids have seen fighters training here and at the gym since day one. They're surrounded by a gym scene. It's both normal and fun to them. I first brought my son boxing gloves so he would stop taking dirty gloves out of the gym. He wanted to imitate what he saw around him. My daughter now imitates her big brother. When my son was 2, I asked him what he wanted for Christmas. He asked for a pull-up bar. Initially, I thought I misunderstood what he had said, but in fact, he wanted a bar to imitate what he saw at the gym. Almost a year later, my son and daughter both pull at my leg to ask for a turn on the bar. We can't get upstairs without one of them asking. My kids find these physical activities enjoyable. I've never asked or pushed them to do anything. Kids by nature do what is fun. They will not actively do something that they do not enjoy. It is their nature to seek out and do what they find fun. Responsibility. As a parent, it is my responsibility to prepare my children for the world around them. I don't care whether they participate in sport or not, but it's important to foster physical, mental, and social development. Unfortunately, many parents seem to believe their responsibility ends in the bedroom. I have met parents whose idea of entertaining their children is to sit them in front of the television. They don't want to be bothered playing with their kids. They're too busy to play. Yet, oddly enough, find time to update Facebook, track their favorite sporting teams, and keep up with their favorite television shows. How do kids go from laughing and playing at the park to becoming sedentary, overweight teens and adults? It certainly isn't natural. By nature, humans were born to move. Unfortunately, as children grow older, they're often encouraged to do otherwise. It's easier to plop your kid in front of the TV as opposed to taking him outside to ride his bike or throw the ball. Clearly, there are other causative factors, but the inactivity of our children is without question a contributor to the continuously increasing rate of adult obesity. Consider the Wall Street Journal article titled, "The Cost of Treating Obesity," for some recent statistics. It is sad to think that children who by their own accord would gladly run around all day will eventually become overweight adults. All too often, parents look elsewhere for solutions, rather than taking a moment to ponder their own responsibilities. No one is more responsible for a child than the parents. It isn't the responsibility of the school or government to develop a healthy child. Parents must take it upon themselves. The ability to freely move and enjoy the world around is something that all kids should enjoy. No parent should deprive their children of this simple pleasure. We as parents need to take it upon ourselves to foster an active lifestyle for our children. Making time for active play is the most enjoyable part of my day. I wouldn't trade those smiles for anything in the world. I'm amazed at what many people consider to be such a complex topic, for example, childhood obesity, is actually so easy to correct. The first step is for parents to begin leading from the front. Is that really too much to ask? I can't think of anything more important to me than my children and their health. How could any parent think differently of their own children? Parents need to wake up and take matters into their own hands. They must put their children first and stop making excuses about what the world owes them. They should instead worry about what they owe their children. You just listened to the post titled, "Fostering an Active Lifestyle" by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. Now, after a long and tiring day at work, the last thing you want to do is go back home to a stressful relationship, whether it be with your kids, your parents, partner, or whomever. If you're thinking about getting an expert's advice on your relationship woes or anything else, BetterHelp Online Counseling offers you a convenient and safe online setting to do just that. BetterHelp has a network of 3,000 U.S. licensed therapists who specialize in areas like anger, relationships, family conflicts, trauma, and more. What you share during your session stays confidential, of course. You can schedule your sessions at a time that works for you. You can contact your counselor through text, video, chat, or phone, whichever option you like best, really. And if you're unhappy with your counselor for any reason, you can request a new one without any additional fees. BetterHelp is available worldwide with a broad network of expertise. While BetterHelp is not a crisis line, you'll be able to start talking with your therapist in less than 24 hours. So, check to see if you qualify for financial aid, or best of all, it's a truly affordable option. Optimal Relationships Daily listeners get 10% off their first month with discount code ORD. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/ORD. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That is betterhelp.com/ORD. And a big thank you to Ross for his reminder about the value of promoting an active lifestyle for our children. Yeah, we often have a laugh at how cute it is, the way that kids imitate parents and siblings, friends, celebrities, whomever. But rarely do we remember that we, as parents, are in charge of which people the child is being exposed to imitate. We only have so much control over that, but we certainly have control over ourselves. So remember, the more you live by the values you believe in, the more your children are likely to do the same. So with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode. We're going to wrap up the week. Thank you for tuning in all week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you right back here on Monday, everybody, where your optimal life awaits.